welcome to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins from Dwayne'sGuitarLessons.com. In today's video, we're going to be continuing our study of Lead Guitar Wizardry, Volume 1, where we are learning how to play lead guitar. And we are going to be working on our 5th pentatonic pattern, number 5, okay? And this is a very important pattern because it's going to complete that roadmap that I've been talking about in all the other videos I've been working on in this series, okay? So you want to learn about that? Stick around and I'll show you how to complete that roadmap. Okay, so here we are looking at our 5th pentatonic pattern, and if you've been following along with the videos, you know that we're working in the key of A minor. We're starting right here at the 5th fret, and if you missed any of those videos, I'll put them down in the description below, so be able to sure to watch for that. Okay, so our first pattern is going to be right here at 5-8, second pattern 8-10, third pattern 10-12, fourth pattern 12-15. And of course our 5th pattern is the one that we're working on right now, right here, 15-17. So our 5th pattern in the key of A minor, 15-17, 15-17, 14-17, 14-17, 15-17, 15-17. And the reason why I say that this completes the roadmap is because we are now back at pattern 1 in the 2nd octave right here at 17 to 20. Which would be the same notes as 5-8. You can hear them. They're just in the 2nd octave. So you basically went from one octave all the way to the next. And of course you run out of fretboard, but if the fretboard went on, you know, we could just go indefinitely. Pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they would just connect like puzzle pieces, okay? And that's what I'm talking about, this roadmap. If you just get this down, you could play all over the fretboard, okay? So once again, right here, in pattern 5, if we did it backwards, it'd be 17-15, 17-15, 17-14, 17-14, 17-15, 17-15. We go back to 15 here, or we could, I'm sorry, back to 17, sorry about that. Go back to 17, or we could stay here at 15, go back to 12, 10, 8, 5, back to 5 again right here, okay? And like I've been talking about in many of these videos, all these videos actually, gotta master the intervals. That's the main thing. Okay, so for right here in pattern 1, 8-5 is a step and a half. And then we go to whole step in pattern 2, another whole step in pattern 3, another step and a half in pattern 4, another whole step in pattern 5. From 1-8 back to the other one. And like I mentioned before, you could do a solo on just one string. You just got to know your intervals. Got to make sure you stay within those intervals. And you can hit some of these other strings, you know, these other notes in there too. You can do that, but you want to land on the notes that are in the patterns, because that's the ones that are going to sound the best, okay? And then what we do is, in the Lead Guitar Wizardry 2, we're going to learn some licks that we can make in this, okay? So in Volume 1, I mentioned the patterns, get you used to doing those, and the techniques, the hammer-ons, pull-offs, that kind of stuff. And then in Volume 2, we're going to be working on licks, actual licks that you can play out of these, and that's what you really want to master, you know? You know? Now, one thing that I was talking to one of my students, Steve, about, Steve, if you're watching, I want to say thank you so much for your support and taking lessons from me. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, is what I was talking to you about was those 3-note sequences, okay? See, there's one right there, 14, 17, 15 on the 3rd and 2nd string. You can also do a 15, 17 back to the 15 on the 1st string right there. Here's a hammer-on pull-off, 3 notes from 15, 17 to the 17 right there. So that's always a good thing to do too when you're soloing, is look for those little, little 3-note patterns. And repeat them. Those are called repeated licks. And then if you know your intervals, which you should by now, you can just, you know, move all over the fretboard, however you want to move, you know. See how I moved just right through those patterns and I stayed in key, sounding good, okay? So that's what you want to master. If you find a lick that you like, see, that's just 3 notes is all that is. But I keep repeating it, it sounds pretty cool. Add your slides, your bends, you know, your vibrato. Add a little whammy bar action in there. That sounds pretty cool. Know where your root notes are. We talked about this before. Your A is right here at the 17th fret. You have another A right here, 3rd string, 14th fret, because that's your G string. A is going to be right here. And then of course another A right here at the 17th fret. So you can really do some cool stuff. You can do some really cool stuff with from A to A, you know. All right, so now you should have that whole roadmap down, and all you have to do now is master the intervals, and you should be working on that. That's why I've given you a few days to kind of practice that a little bit. Try to space out the videos a little bit so that you can have some time to practice what I've been trying to teach you. And then of course if we go later, you know, go lower down the neck, same thing as up here. You know, our 5th pattern is right here, you know, at 15-17. It's also up here at 3-5. So if we go into the 1st octave, it's, you know, our A is right here at 5-8. So that's our 1st pattern. Our 5th pattern is going to be right here at 3-5. 3-5, 3-5, 2-5, 2-5, 3-5, 3-5. And you can tell we're still in the key of A because when we're playing that, you know, it's kind of incomplete until we bring it back to the A again. And then your 4th pattern would be here, which we kind of run out of space because of the nut and everything, but your 4th pattern, then if it went further, it'd be 2nd and so forth, okay? So that's how you're going to be able to solo all over the fretboard. And then you come back here into the 2nd octave, right? So you have 5 here, you're back to 1 right here. Back to 2 right here. And then going into 3, although we kind of run out of space, but... Alright, so there you go. That's the whole roadmap in the pentatonic scales. Study that, okay? Okay, so there we have it. The 5 pentatonic patterns that complete that whole roadmap, okay? So that's what you want to learn. I would recommend starting with that. There's all kinds of scales you can start with. You got the modes, and there's all kinds of different ones. But my recommendation, if you're just starting out, start out with those pentatonic patterns, okay? Those 5 of them. If you start off with them like I just showed you in all these video series, you're going to be able to have that roadmap. Just that roadmap that you can play all over the fretboard. Once you get that down, then you can work on more complex scales. These ones are your basic fundamentals that come from the blues. And here's what I put as a summary of all the pentatonic patterns in this book here. I say this: these 5 patterns will create a solid foundation for your lead guitar playing. These are scale patterns that are used by all the great guitar players, okay? Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray, Angus Young, Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and countless others. So if you like those kind of guitar players, which I'm sure you do, plus even these guys, you know, Metallica, they all use these, okay? So you got to have them in your tool chest you know, in your wizard's tool chest, as they call it, all right? So make sure you got these down. If you want to learn that other stuff, that's fine too. Learn that later, but make sure you have these. These are the fundamentals, okay? So take some time and study these. Really get to know them. Practice them daily, one scale at a time, until you can visualize them on your fretboard. That's what you got to do, visualize them so you can get those intervals down, okay? See how they all connect with each other like puzzle pieces and allow you to span the entire fretboard, okay? With these 5 scale patterns and all the little spells and incantations that you have learned so far, which are the bends, the slides, the vibrato, hammer-ons, etc., you should be able to pull off some pretty awesome lead guitar magic, okay? So that's where you should be right now, is be able to just work with those. And like I said, in the second volume, which I've got here, I just finished the proofread on it, and I'm gonna get it published. I think Amazon is working on reviewing that right now, so that should be available pretty quick. And I just want to let you know I'm gonna have some blank pages in the back, and I put the blank pages in the back so you can take notes, all right? Every time that I work with books, it's kind of how I learn. That's why I like the books, is I always take notes. I always write stuff down in them, and you know, if they have some exercises, I try to do them, try to figure out the notes in a key or whatnot. And so I like to leave blank pages in the back so you to do that, okay? And so that book's almost finished, and we're going to continue to work on this one. We got a lot more lessons to do in this book right here, and then when we get done with that, I'm going to work on this book here, Rhythm Guitar Alchemy, which gives you some stuff about rhythm guitar. So I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. Thank you so much for subscribing. And like I said, even though we're working on some lesson plans here, if you have anything you're working on, let me know. Leave me in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make a video for you, because that's what I do here. That's why I write these books. So I write them so I can help people out. You know, I can only teach so many people here in Colorado, but you know, by writing these books and getting them out there to the people, I can help a lot more people, and that's the whole reason why I do it, okay? And I know we're working on lead guitar playing now, you know, tearing it up on lead guitar, and you know, if you're not interested in that, that's okay, but I'm writing books on all aspects of guitar playing. That's why I have all these different books that I've written, you know. Learn how to play guitar, simple for beginners. You know, if you're just starting out, this is a great book for that. It's got colored pictures in it and stuff. And like I said, this Rhythm Guitar Alchemy book that I wrote that tells you even a lot more in detail about playing rhythm. And then we got Lead Guitar Wizardry, Volume 1, and now Volume 2 is almost just about complete. And I'll be working on some more books on top of that, okay? So thanks once again. Be sure to check out my website for a lot of great training tips on there. Join my join my email guitar club and practice these scales. All right, I'm telling you, this is a good place to start. And then we will be working on some more things in our next lesson. All right, so until then, you, my friend, take care.